The following are answers to the work 1.1, looking for work. So we're working on working for our money in Unit 1. Looking for work. So as part of this warm-up, the instructions are show each amount using dollar notation. So when we're talking about dollar notation, that means we're going to write the dollar sign before. Always. So for all of these, you need to have a dollar sign at the start. Okay, and that's what we mean by dollar notation. So if we read the first one, it's $2. So you could indicate $2 like that. The second one tells us that there's $3. And the last one should say 1 dime. Okay, although it says 1 dive, we're just going to pretend right now that it's 1 dime. Oh, and we've lost our marker here. So we're going to go back and get our marker back. Boom. And we need to get the full screen back, so we're going to go like this. Okay, sorry guys. So anyways, 1 dime. There's no dollars, so we're going to put a 0 where the dollars would be. And when we've considered all of our dollars, at the end of each dollar comes a decimal. And then when we start dealing with cents, we put that after the decimal. So for $2, that would tell us that there are no cents, so we just put 2 zeros there to represent our cents. When we've got $3, we've already written the 3, then the decimal. We need to show that there's 55 cents. So after the decimal, we put 55. And for our 1 dime, we know that 1 dime is actually 10 cents. So what we'll do is, instead of writing 10 cents like that, because we want dollar notation, our cents come after the decimal. So there's our 10 cents. Question 2. Okay, so anyways, while marking this, you get a mark for each question when you put the dollar sign at the start. You get a mark for putting a decimal to separate dollars from cents. And you get a mark for showing cents, whether there's no cents or 55 cents. This next question wants us to round each number. So we want to know, okay, this is $2.69, but what is it closer to? And we want to know closeness as far as the nearest dollar goes. So the question is this closer to $3 or $2? Well, it's more than $2.50, which would be halfway between $2 and $3. So it's closest to having $3. Now the problem with that in money is if you have $2.69 and you round it up like you have $3, you're going to be missing some money there. Okay, but anyways, that's another story. Okay, so we've got $12.23. So we ask ourselves, okay, is this closer to $12 or is this thing closer to $13? Well, it's less than $12.50. So we're going to say that it's closer to $12. And we just show that. And all of these, because we're rounding to the nearest dollar, they're going to end with 0 cents. So we could actually go through and show that decimal with zeros following afterwards. They're all going to begin with a dollar sign, so we put it at the start. And our question for this one is, okay, do we have 90 cents? We got 90 cents. Is it closer to $1 or $0? Well, it's closest to $1. And when we've got $6.12, is that closer to $6 or is it closer to $7? Well, it's closer to $6 because it's less than $6.50, which would be halfway between $6 and $7. Okay, our next question is, we've got a kid named Marnie. She makes $9.15 per hour. And as you've learned in this course, our minimum wage is going to go up to about $11 in June. So this is a little bit outdated. But it says, how much money will she earn in a $5 shift? Okay, well, this kid shows up. She works for 1 hour. She works a second hour. She works a third hour. She works a fourth hour. She works a fifth hour. So she's been at work for 5 hours. And every time she works an hour, she gets paid $9.15. Holy crap, that's going to be a lot of money. Okay, now in our head we could say, okay, that's like close to $10 an hour. I'm rounding up. I'm taking the liberty of rounding up, by the way. Which means she's going to get paid close to $50 before taxes and all that jazz get taken away. So there's her second hour of money. So she got $9.50 for her first hour. She's going to get $9.15 for her second hour. She's going to get $9.15 for her third hour. And you can ask yourself, okay, how many times is Mrs. Weavers going to write $9.15? Well, she's worked 5 hours, so I'm going to write $9.15. Whew, 5 times. So here it is. We've got four times. We've written down $9.15. And so we end up with boom, boom. Now we're ready to add these things, because every time she's worked an hour, she's gotten $9.15. Now, some of you realize that this is the same as writing down $9.15 times the number 5. Now, here I am sitting at my desk looking for a calculator because I'm without one. So what I would have done was added $9.15 plus $9.15 plus $9.15 plus $9.15 plus $9.15. Or I would have said, okay, she's worked 5 hours, and I'm going to multiply that by $9.15. Since I don't have a calculator, I don't know the exact amount. I do know it's close to $10. Okay, so without actually knowing the exact amount she's made, I've actually produced a level 3 plus answer because I've shown exactly what the thinking is that goes with it. I've got dollar signs in front of dollar notation. I've got decimals to divide dollars from cents. I've shown that she's worked 5 hours. I show that for every hour worked, she makes $9.15. I show that she's worked 5 hours and that I could use the operation of multiplication. To make this better, we could have a therefore statement. So I could say, therefore, Marnie would make approximately $50 in 5 hours. Okay. Now, question 4, I'm not going to go through the full explanation, but I'm going to go through the math you need to do. So we've got John, who worked 18 hours last week. He made $171 for the week. They want to know what he was making an hour. Well, really, we've got two numbers. One is the same as what would have been here in the end, right? So how much the person gets paid. The other is, okay, how long was this person working for? Okay, so they're similar. So we're actually working backwards here. So this guy goes home at the end of a week. That's actually a lot of hours for a high school kid. But he makes $171. He worked 18 hours. So if we take 171 and we divide it by our 18 hours, we get the number of hours he would have had to work to make that money. Or, sorry, the amount that he would have got paid per hour. And because I don't have a calculator, I can't tell you what that is. But I can show you pretty decent level understanding. So I put my dollars, and then decimal, and then cents. And, you know, to make it super duper level 4 work, I'd put a therefore statement. I might put a title on my work to tell the individual number of hours worked. And there you would have a level